It's an Eastern Conference matchup as the Toronto Raptors come into town for this one. We welcome you this Thursday evening as we get set for some exciting NBA action on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan, and here with me today, Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. The Wizards trying to take advantage of their home court in this one before leaving Washington. They just haven't been able to buy a break lately. 5 of their last 6 games have been losses.
Kevin, I have not been able to quite identify what the problems have been for this team, but obviously neither have they because they continue to struggle. I know they're working hard to get things figured out, but no matter what role they've taken, it's been a dead end.
Yeah, an effort, to your point, really not the issue, but you do have to wonder whether or not they have the right pieces to the puzzle, or at least have them in the right places. So some adjustments are going to have to be made, and I think that's going to be the challenge for this coaching staff.
Here are the 5 for the Raptors. The star pair of Lowry and DeRozan are the guards. Patterson is the 4 with Valanciunas in the middle, and it's Maverick in at the 3 spot. He doesn't get the second one. On defense, Washington. It's a 3-point game. They're coming into this game off that recent loss to Atlanta.
Yeah, they were just pounded on the inside, particularly on that backboard. That was a huge disadvantage for them.
Well, that's always a disadvantage when you get blasted on the glass. They needed to do a much better job of getting inside position, and if you can't do that, it's going to be a long day on the backboards.
And it's Lowry penetrating, and a wide-open look for Valanciunas. That's in, coming off an assist from Lowry.
Really nice way to get your first bucket of the day.
Morris, a screen. The pass to Anderson. Tries from 10. Oh, and that one had the right spin on it, and it is good. Here's Lowry. 8 points his last outing. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
Oh, that is just weak defense there. I'm pretty sure that was not the plan to give him those kind of baskets at the hoop.
For Toronto, they've gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. Patterson, a screen on Wall. Lowry passes to Maverick. He feeds it to Patterson. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Valanciunas. That's his second shot and his second basket. He's 2 for 2.
You know, you're going to have success when you can start out shooting 80% from the game. So early offensively, they've been great. That's the way you like to start.
Anderson can't get it to go. Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Kevin, the Wizards head coach had a couple of moments for me. He told me there aren't many big men with the mobility and length of Jonas Valanciunas, and that he's a player they'll really have to account for, saying, quote, JV's still developing his skill set, but there just aren't that many people in the world of his size. And you factor in his motor, he can really impact a game. Guys, we'll see how they try to deal with him.
Thank you, Doris.
Already seizing control of this game.
Total control, Greg, and as well as they're playing at both ends, I look for this lead to get even larger.
Now, here is Morris. He gives his team some nice contributions, averaging a bit over 10 points a game. Wide open look, and another basket for Toronto.
You know, usually teams go on runs, and it comes from a lot of layups and dunks. But that's not the case here.
Well, it's about rhythm, and they put this run together on the strength of their mid-range jump shot. They might as well be layups with the way they're shooting.
Ladies and gentlemen, Verizon Center, give it up for your Wizard Girls.
And now we have a chance to check out Freak here. How's the last month of basketball been for him? 2nd in free throw percentage. And he's a flamethrower from distance. Top 10 in the league and 3-point shooting.
And you never see him get nervous when he steps to the line. Smooth as a baby's bottom and as cool as a nice fall night.
Looking at who's out there now for the Wizards. Hansbrough's coming for Anderson, and it's Jefferson in for Porter. Morris with the bucket.
And we always talk about making your teammate better. That assist was right on target.
And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
During that break, Dwayne, Casey had some words for his team. He went over the offensive plan, and that hinges on running through Valanciunas. Coach wants him to go from one of the key guys to the key guy. And from the way he responded in the huddle, I think he's up to the challenge. So still in the opening quarter, and already some adjustments being made. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks a lot, Doris.
And he came off that screen, and the D just didn't get over the top of it.
Yep, weren't there in time enough to challenge Greg, and when that's the case, you can mark those up for him.
Now here's Wall, following the miss by Kyle Lowry. Back to Wall. Goes up again, and Markieff Morris again. Morris has got it back down to within single digits for the Wizards. Pass to Maverick. Back to Lowry. Goes up on the wing. Morris with the rebound. Wizards have gone 4 of 10 shooting the ball here in the first quarter. Hansbrough setting the pick for Beal. And he gets that one to go off the front iron. Beal's got his second basket.
And that's why it's so important to really be a good screening team. You get a lot of open looks from it.
Took the opportunity when he saw it. And that's 12 points for Freak.
And that's another assist for a team that is putting on a clinic on how to share the ball.
And I love the mentality that they've had. If a shot isn't there, they're not forcing it. They're moving it side to side until they finally get the one they want.
Now here's Lowry. After Markieff Morris's miss, Valanciunas passes to Maverick. He tries for 3. A second chance effort, and the layup is good.
Everything going according to the script for them offensively so far.
Clark, shots be falling. That's for sure. They're scoring with a tremendous amount of confidence.
You went straight playground old school there, partner.
The Wizards shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the night. First free throw is good.
John Wall.
And so John Wall nails both of them. Raptors leading by 10. Carroll with a screen on Smith. Joseph the pass to Maverick. And the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a 3-point play.
You couldn't have dreamed of a much better start here than they've had today.
I think the offensive game plan they came in with was right on point. It's worked perfectly, and the lead they already have is proof in the pudding.
That's good from Maverick. Here's Wall. From deep. He got it up that time, but it wouldn't fall for him. The first quarter concludes in a double-digit lead on the scoreboard. Toronto ahead. They lead by 13. And we'll be back in just a moment with the start of the second quarter. And a chance to hear from Bradley Beal. He came from a football family in St. Louis, but said
she definitely put the ball in my hands. She's the one who.
maybe some other NBA players should be practicing with Bradley. Checked in for Anderson. Morris comes in for Oubre. Bradley Beal's checked in for Richard Jefferson. And it's John Wall in for Smith. The talented Wall and Beal team up in the backcourt. Porter is out there with Markieff Morris. And it's Hansbrough in its center, locking down the middle. That's the group on the floor right now for Washington. Got freed up. Nice work off the pit.
And really, Wall is a master at knocking shots down like that.
Toronto leading by 11. Outside Lowry.
Move the ball and stick
Pass to Maverick. And here's Daniels. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change.
Great job to hit his teammate on that move, Kevin.
For Washington, they've gone 8 of 14 in the second quarter on field goal attempts. Wall dishes to Beal. Back to Wall. Kicks it to Hansbrough. There's Porter with the 3. Count it. His second make in 4 attempts.
And their shots are falling now with more regularity than we saw at first.
Well, it was a slow start, but they've gone from simmer to medium heat, and they're bordering on hot to close this gap.
And so it looks like the Raptors will retain possession here. And let's quickly check out the best young defenders, how they've been playing in the low post lately. Your rookie block leaders for the past month. 54 seconds left in the first half. Maverick passes to DeRozan. No luck. Now the Wizards take it the other way. This, their first look at this year's Toronto squad.
And here we go. The first in what will be a 3-game season series between the two teams.
Yeah, no splits here, partner. One team will have bragging rights, and a win tonight is the first step.
It's Beal on the wing. DeRozan defending. Hansbrough, a screen on DeRozan. Shot off the pick. Rebounded by Valanciunas. Valanciunas has got his 5th rebound in this one.
Boy, they're trailing in this game, and they're starting to settle for jumpers offensively.
Yeah, it could work, but I wouldn't take that approach, Clark. They should be fighting their way inside for better looks.
Wall up top. Lowry covering. Wall against Lowry. The 3 from Morris. Can't get it to go. 1 second left. So we've reached the end of the first half of play. Raptors lead by 12. And now let's catch up with...
Well, guys, I'm here.
Get ready for your Wizard Girl.
And as we begin the second half, first half wasn't even close, guys, and we'll see if there is a comeback on our hands or more of the same as we get the third quarter started.
Really an extraordinary game for Maverick. He's got 17 points, and he's done a little bit of work behind the arc. He's got a pair of 3-pointers.
And you know what? The defenders have that in the back of their minds now. They'll be on him a little tighter.
So the Raptors 5 right now. Lowry and DeRozan are the guard tandem. Patterson is the 4 with Valanciunas in the middle. And it's Maverick in at the 3 slot. And let's now go to the sideline. We'll catch up here with Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, Kev, Freak in the last matchup against the Pacers was just a man on a mission. He had 11 points, and along with what he did on the offensive end, he also played some stellar defense as well. The outing for him was certainly one that he would be happy to repeat.
Good job as always, Doris. Thank you, guys. What was your take on his performance?
Kevin, I really felt like he left it all out on the floor. I'll say this. It was a great, hard-charging effort.
Guys, when he's on, nobody's more fun to watch. And he was definitely on in that game.
And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. Here's Wall. One of the dependable scorers on the team. He's averaging close to 17 points a game. Dishes it to Porter. Feeds it to Anderson. And Wall kicks to Morris. And good, coming off the assist by Wall. Wall's got 4 assists in the game.
And a big height advantage right there.
You know, it's tough to bring a big man that far away from the goal, but that might be a mismatch they're willing to live with.
The wide open look here for DeRozan. Plenty of room to knock down the shot. DeRozan's got 9 points.
He has created some terrific opportunities for himself and really made the most of it.
And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Well, over the break, I listened in on what the head coach for the Wizards was getting across in their huddle. He made no mistake that their plan was to run their offense through Morris. Coach emphasized getting him as many touches as possible, saying he is going to be one of the guys to carry us the rest of the way. He also wants to see a patient offense, work for the shot, move the ball around, and as he told them, quote, if you don't see a good shot, find someone who does. Clearly some adjustments there had to be made because the time left for a comeback is quickly running out. Kevin, over to you.
All right, Doris. Lowry against Wall. Morris with a screen on DeRozan. Clock at 4. misses off the left iron.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
And really a reflection of their superior effort level to this point. It seems to me they've gone after this win a little bit more.
Morris dishes to Beal. It's stolen by DeRozan. And oh, here we go. Lowry's got it. The fast break chance. Here's Patterson. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. It's going to be on John Wall. You can see the leadership qualities on display right there, guys.
You know, he's their coach on the floor. There's no doubt about that. A great communicator.
Now, here's Joseph. Covered by Wall. Out to the wing. Here's Ostrovsky. And again, no good by Toronto. And as we conclude the third quarter, pretty much a blowout. It's been a one-sided affair. It's the Raptors opening up a huge gap. And do not go away, as we'll be back in just a few moments with the start of our fourth quarter coming up next. Welcome back. Fourth quarter action starting up in what has been a one-sided show. Raptors leading by 20. All right, now a chance to set the floor courtesy of MyCareer. Fourth quarter action, all fueled up and ready to go. So on the floor for Washington, the great pair of Wall and Beal are at the guard spots. Anderson is out there with Markieff Morris, and it's Porter at small forward. And there's the feed to Anderson. Nice ball movement by Washington. Morris, no good.
That's not a sight you see very often. I mean, he has a great feel for that jump shot, especially when he's open.
Here's DeRozan, and 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
Some fantastic numbers for DeRozan. He has 9 points, and there's a nice number in his assist column as well.
It really has been, Clark. He's created a lot of open looks for his teammates. Very unselfish play from him today.
DeMar DeRozan hits them both. So it's the Wizards now. Now here's Wall. There's a good screen. Here's Beal. Anderson passes to Beal. Clock at 6. Takes a 3. Offensive rebound. The kick out to Wall. Anderson, a screen on DeRozan. Beal from long range. And again, Washington, no good.
And there have been some terrible shot choices here, Kev. That's not a good look at all.
Lowry kicks to Daniels. That falls. Nice feed that time from Kyle Lowry. Lowry's got his assist totals piling up. 11 now for him. Wall dishes to Morris. He kicks it to Beal. And it's Wall in the corner. Drills the three-pointer.
There's been a change in his game compared to what we saw in the first half. I mean, he's scoring with a lot of confidence now.
There's the pick.
Move the ball. It's sticking too
And
much.
the pass to Maverick. DeMar DeRozan on the wing. Fader on the way. And there are the Raptors with another bucket.
And really, it looks like he may just try to take this thing over on his own and really build that lead up.
Morris a screen. And it's Beal in the corner. Fires the jumper from the corner and nails it.
It is so hard to contain him. He just seems to get it done however he has to do it.
Lowry drives in. Can't capitalize on the good pick.
His shot's just, it's not there right now. With his team leading, perhaps, let's focus on some other areas of the game.
Anderson, a good finish at the rack off the slick feed.
And he can time his passes so perfectly. Wow, what an assist.
Lowry passes to Maverick. DeRozan against Beal. Gets it to fall. And the bucket from Maverick. Maverick's got 25 points.
Defensively, I think they've got to do a better job of bodying him up.
clearly they've been outclassed in the paint, really at both ends of the floor.
Get ready to go, Wizard Girls!
And Washington making a change here. Smith is checked in. And then for Toronto, Biombo, he's checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. And it's Patterson in for Daniels. Smith outside. There's the dish to Morris. And too long on the shot.
You know, he just hasn't looked right to me. A bit out of sorts, if you will. Something's off with his mechanics, at least as I look at him.
Move
Pass
the
to
ball. It's sticking too much.
Back to Lowry. Just 4 to shoot. Here's Ostrovsky. Connects on the 17-footer. Mavericks got 4 points in the quarter.
And such a steady hand. I mean, he's one of those guys that's really allowed them to take the lead.
Well, he's just so reliable and dependable and consistent, especially here today. I mean, his shooting percentage is off the charts.
And again, Washington no good.
Their rebounding has been off the charts today, guys. Reason number one, this game is out of hand.
Exactly, Clark. Their lead is not surprising given their advantage on the backboard.
Anderson with the block. There's 1:40 left in the game. DeRozan against Beal. The Wizards need to get a shot off here. Quarter outside, and that one's good.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Raptors.
But, Steve, you know, you don't see this kind of a blowout often. But tonight, this is a quality win across the board to deliver out, Clark, this kind of punishment.
Well, you know what? I thought they did a nice job of playing against the game. They kept the pressure on and clearly were dominant in every area.
And I think a great job in positioning themselves for the W here. It's win number 21 on the season.
And once it becomes official, this win gives them a nice confidence boost against this team. They'll face them twice more this season.
The stats tell us, Greg, that the winner of the first game is a big favorite to come out on top in the overall series.
A fantastic show. And what an amazing all-around game.
And so Toronto takes this one, but by a big margin. A resounding victory for them. And Greg in enemy territory, no less.
That's exactly right. But with the way they controlled the game and just completely took the crowd out of it, that's how